What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Tiberius back again with another video. I just got back from my first tactical games, and as you can see, I am extremely sore. I can't even do my normal things. Every muscle from my neck down to my toes and everything in between really hurts. My first tactical games was in Monroe, PA at the Shooter's Gauntlet, August 8th and 9th. Today is Monday, just a day later. I just got home about 3 hours ago, and I'm not kidding. Every muscle in my body is absolutely killing me. If you don't know, the tactical games is kind of like CrossFit with guns. It's like Tough Mudder, Spartan Race, Special Forces training, 2-gun competition, all rolled into one, and it's very physically demanding, and it's also very mentally challenging. They have over a weekend, they have 6 battles or 6 stages that you compete in. Some of them are an endurance type of course where we climbed 2 miles up a mountain, did some shooting, came back. Other are more strength focused, where you're only going back and forth 50 yards, but you're carrying either 150-pound sandbag or 105-pound farmer carries on each side. So if you want to be successful and compete in the tactical games, not only do you have to be a very well-rounded athlete, you have to be very strong, and you have to be a very competent shooter as well. The thing I like about the tactical games is really nothing like it that mixes all of these different things into one, and that's the thing I like the most. As we go through this, I have a ton of notes here, so I will be looking down at my notes quite a bit, so I apologize for that. But this is the layout of the video. I'm going to go over all of the pros, all of the things I like about the tactical games. Then I'm going to go over all the cons. And then I'm going to tell you if I think you should do the tactical games and what I think of it overall. And then at the end, I'm going to break down all 6 stages, but I'm going to leave that to the end because I don't think most people are going to want to hear step by step what we did in every battle. I think most people just kind of want a 10,000 view of what it's like and what it's about. So that's going to be the layout of this video, and then we'll go from there. So overall, I give the tactical games probably like a 9 out of 10 or like an A-. I think it's wonderful. Like I said a minute ago, there's nothing like it that challenges you physically and mentally and your shooting competence and your shooting fundamentals all together in one battle. So it's a very unique thing. I like it so much that I am going to another tactical games 9 months from now at the Sig Sauer Academy in New Hampshire. Definitely going to attend that one. That is the only other local event to me. I am in Rhode Island. Every other event is like Arizona, Utah, Florida. So 9 months from now in May at the Sig Sauer Academy in New Hampshire. I like the tactical games enough. I will be attending, especially now that I know what I need to work on and what to expect. I think I'll be able to compete a lot better. Not going to win yet, but I'll definitely be able to compete a lot better. So pros. Again, there's nothing like the tactical games. It is a unique beast, that's for sure. And that's what I like about it so much. There's shooting competitions, there's physical competitions, but nothing that really brings it all together quite like the tactical games does. Second thing I really like, the people who run it are some really good people. Tim is kind of the guy in charge who owns it. Sarah, and I believe the other gentleman's name is Jared. They're really good people. They live that lifestyle. You can tell they're all super fit and could run circles around me in these tactical games, but they are very kind and sincere people. The thing I liked the most about it is the friendships and the camaraderie that you very quickly build with all of these people. All competitions kind of have a little bit of this, but nothing like the tactical games. I found it amazing that people were absolutely killing themselves on the brink of exhaustion, could barely breathe, and they would get back up when they were finished. They would run 50, 100 yards to encourage and cheer on other people when they can barely breathe and they're just completely gassed out, exhausted. I probably made a dozen new friends or so at the event, and it's just there's a connection of everyone just embracing all of this suck together, and you really build some good friendships and good relationships there. So those are the pros. As far as cons, I do have 4 cons. Please keep in mind this is the first time Tactical Games went to this venue, and I guarantee you the next time they do it, there'll be a lot of these little cons that I have that they are going to perfect and fix. But these are the things that I saw that I didn't like. Number 1, the porta potty situation was absolutely disgusting. They needed like 5 porta potties at every range, and definitely in the parking area. The whole parking area only had 1, and I'm not going to give you any of the details, but it was like Satan's stall. It was absolutely disgusting. 2, at the beginning of each day, things are very chaotic and very unorganized. So you go to your battle, and they give you the brief, and they tell you all about the battle, they tell you the round count. The problem with it is whoever's going first and second, you only have like 5 minutes to run all the way back to your stuff, load up your magazines, and run all the way back. And it's like a half-mile run, and it's uphill one way and downhill the other way. So whoever's competing first, it's super chaotic and unorganized for them. If you're lucky enough to be scheduled to go later, it's no big deal. I would like to see the Tactical Games at least give the round count the night before, so we know how many rounds to have in our magazines, and we can be prepared and not go crazy. I completely understand why they don't tell you what the battle's going to be, but they should at least tell you the round count and get rid of some of that unorganization, of being unorganized, and these poor people who have to rush to go load up their magazines and run back, and now they're winded and they have to do this very physical challenge when they're already tired. That could definitely be perfected a little bit. Number 4 is going to be the groups. So they have an elite athlete class, then they have a master's division for guys over 45, they have a women's division, they have an intermediate division, and they have a light division. And my problem is 2 things. 1, the light division, in my opinion, probably shouldn't exist. The light division just allows people to skip challenges and skip obstacles if they don't want to or can't do that obstacle. But the reason I have a problem with that, in the intermediate division or in any division, if you're not physically able to do something, like if you can't climb a rope, there's an opt-out for it. Okay, fine, you can't climb a rope, give us 5 burpees or something that anyone can do. So being they have those opt-outs on the challenges, there's no need for the light division in my opinion. Not a huge deal, just what I was thinking. The bigger thing that bugs me about the divisions is there's no mandating who should be in what division. So example, I was talking to a young man, he's like, yeah, I've been practicing a lot. A friend of mine has actually won 5 or 6 of these, and he's been helping me get ready. I said, oh, that's great. Is your friend in the elite division? He said, no, he's still in the intermediate division. I said, your friend has won 5 or 6 times, but hasn't kicked up from the intermediate up to the elite division? Don't you think they should force him up? He's just collecting trophies at that point, and that's not the spirit of the games. Again, not a huge deal, but that's something small that I would like to see them force those people up if they're winning over and over and over. Or if somebody is like, this one's not going to be a very popular opinion, but if you're a SWAT member or if you're an active duty military, you should probably be in the elite division, the higher division. Just my opinion. You guys tell me what you think. I always like to hear your opinion and try to balance myself off. 4th and last, some of the equipment requirements were kind of strange. Again, this is their competition. They can make whatever requirements they want. I just didn't like some of them. So for example, muzzle devices. Super specific on what muzzle device you can have. It can't have ports. It can only have so many prongs. Pretty much if you're gonna go, just put a bird cage on your gun or maybe a suppressor and you'll be good to go. But super specific on the muzzle devices, along with other accessories on your gun as well. So for example, you must have backup iron sights. I'm not sure why I didn't ask. I probably should have. And if you're running a low power variable optic, you have to have 45-degree offset iron sights. Why? Why can't I just have regular sights? I had to go out and buy offsets because I chose to rock a low power variable optic. I found that very strange. Last, and the one most people complain about, and the one that drove me nuts, is they don't allow red dots on pistols. I think a lot of competitions are starting to evolve here and get better in allowing red dots on pistols. It's the future of pistol shooting, in my opinion. You know, they allow red dots on rifles. There's no difference on pistols. in my opinion. So hopefully soon they will change that rule and allow red dots on pistols. Now, I really thought my pistol shooting was going to be my greatest asset at these tactical games. I'm a good pistol shooter. If you've seen any of my videos, I'm good. I'm a decent rifle shooter, but I'm definitely a good to very good pistol shooter. And I shot pistol horrible. I mean, I was possibly the worst pistol shooter there. It was ugly, ugly, ugly. I think that was for a few reasons. One, I've been shooting some really, really nice high-end competition style pistols. For example, I did a review on a Shadow 2. I've done reviews on the X5 Legion, the SP01 Tactical, and my favorite, the Staccato P. Those are beautiful guns that shoot really, really nice. They have really small fiber optic front sights, or they had red dots. On my carry gun, the VP9, there I have a red dot on that, and I've been shooting pretty much exclusively a red dot on that. And again, they don't allow pistol red dots, so I took the red dot off. I didn't practice with my iron sights. My iron sights are Trijicon HDs. I figured I've been shooting those for so many years, there was no need to practice. I was wrong. I definitely was not used to shooting irons again, especially that Trijicon HD has that huge front sight, and at distance and small targets, I definitely struggled a little bit. So the next time I go to a tactical games, if they don't allow pistol mounted red dots, I will get a pistol with a different sight, maybe a fiber optic. Hopefully by then I'll own a Staccato P or a Staccato XC, because I am in love with that gun. And I'm sure my pistol shooting will be better the next time I go. So going forward, I plan on doing a lot more CrossFit style workouts, a lot of AMRAPs and those type of workouts. Definitely going to do a lot more deadlifts and squats to build up my overall strength. A lot of exercise that work on grip strength. My grip strength was definitely not as good as it should have been. My running and my cardio, I also need to kick up a notch. I've been running 2 or 3 miles. I'm going to try to slowly work my way up to 5 or 6 miles, and I'd love to do a 10K at some point this year before the next tactical games I go to. I'm also going to do a lot of sled pulls. The sled drags, the sled pulls were by far the hardest thing I found. Carrying the sandbag was difficult. A lot of the heavy lifting was hard, but sled drags and sled pulls, that absolutely gassed me and killed me. So working sled pulls will be a very, very big one I plan to do going forward. So I finished 34th in my division. There were 70 people in the intermediate division. It looks like only 56 finished because there was only points for that many. It looks like quite a few people dropped out or something, but I think being right in the middle at 34 was pretty good. I think I'm happy with those results for my first tactical games. Next time in 9 months, I'm going to try to finish in the top 15. That's going to be my goal 9 months from now, and we'll see how I do. I'll try to work out as much as I can to get myself ready for that. Again, overall, I had an awesome time. I think it's wonderful. I think you should absolutely do it, depending on a couple things. One, if you're an absolute a beast physically, then go and do it. Go have fun. You know, work on your shooting skills. Make sure you're safe with the firearm. But if you're not an absolute beast physically, you should still go. But you need to make sure you check your egos. A couple people there who expected to be able to do it, and they fell, they tripped, they got hurt, something happened, and they bowed out. So check your ego. It was very, very hard for me to do. I'm super, super competitive, but I did it. I said, look, I'm here to compete with myself. My goal was not to finish last, and just to finish. And that's what I did, even though that was very, very difficult for me. In the first few stages, I was so nervous. Out of the 70 people, the first 2 stages, I figured I finished 48th. A lot of that was nerves and some problems shooting a pistol. But as I got a little bit more comfortable, the next couple stages I finished 29th, 24th, 35th, and 33rd. So as I got a little more comfortable, and I definitely improved my results. And then again, 9 months from now when I go to the SIG Academy, my goal is going to be to end up in the top 15 out of everyone in the intermediate division. At this point, I know this video is getting very, very, very long, and I don't have a lot of interesting pictures and videos and cool things to run into the video here. So I just want to say thank you very, very much for watching. If you're going to leave at this point and you don't want to hear the specifics of the battles, just drop me one of these before you go. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to know the specifics about each battle, I'm about to get into those right now. So battle 1, first battle, I was so nervous. It was very cool that the people in my squad, the 2 guys in my squad, I knew one of them. They're half my age, unfortunately, but I knew one of them from Instagram, so I kind of had someone I was somewhat familiar and comfortable with, so that was cool. Every stage you run, by the way, you're in full kit. So you have your plate carrier on. Your plate carrier must weigh at least 15 pounds. You have your pistol. You have your rifle slung. You have all your ammo on you. So you have somewhere between 20 to 30 pounds that you're carrying extra as you do these events. So the first one was like a loop, a track, so to speak. Giant circles, probably quarter mile, half mile, somewhere in between there. So you start at the firing line. When they say go, there's 5 or 6 big concrete barriers you had to hop over. So you leap those 6 barriers, you run down a hill, through some obstacles, under a little tunnel, all the way around, then up this huge steep hill and back around to the firing line. By the time you get to the firing line, you were gassed from that big hill. You came out and shot your pistol first. They had 3 little tiny Sammy poppers on the bottom. You had to shoot 1 shot at each, 1 shot at the cardboard. 1 shot at each Sammy, 1 shot at the cardboard. And you did that 4 times for a total of 16 rounds. Put your pistol away, transition to your rifle. 5 headshots on the rifle on a silhouette target. Put your rifle away, and then you repeat that over and over and over. You had enough magazines and ammo on you to repeat that 4 times. And there was some people who did get 4 intervals in. I got 3, just about 3 full ones in. I had a couple rounds left on my 3rd time around. But it was, it looked really, really easy until I started doing it, and it gassed me. Like every one of these, I got very, very tired very, very quickly. So battle 2 was like an AMRAP CrossFit type of course that you just ran over and over and over. So we ran down a hill about 50 yards. We had to grab all of our rifle and pistol magazines were laid out on a barrel. You had to grab one of your rifle magazines and store it. And then there was a sled there. You wrapped the sled around, the straps around you, and you had to pull it backwards uphill. I think it was about 50 yards or so back to the firing line where you started. Once you're there, you were shooting your rifle. It was 16 rounds of rifle on steel. Once you finish shooting that, you grab your sled. Now you're pulling it forward, which is a lot easier, and you were going downhill, which also helped. You bring the sled back, put the rifle magazine away, grab yourself a pistol magazine, and then you picked up a 45-pound plate that you would work out with. You had to hold the plate above your head. You would run about 10-15 yards or so, touch the plate on the ground, pick it up above your head, run 10-15 yards, touch the ground, pick it back up above your head, and you have to do that all the way back to the firing line. Take your pistol out, do your pistol shooting, put your pistol away, pick up your plate, do the same thing back, run the yards, tap the ground, run to the next line, tap the ground. And then you just repeated that over and over and over and over. You had enough to do 5 total rounds, 5 rifle, 5 pistol, is what you brought to the battle with you, and I got through 3 of each. Three pistol rounds and 3 rifle rounds is what I made it through in that particular battle. Now battle 3 was like a long distance endurance type battle. It was much longer than most of the other battles. Most of these battles lasted 10 to 15 minutes, except for battle 3. I was a little nervous going in because there was a lot of the elite athletes that were getting halfway through this battle and they were turning around and quitting. And they were told us this. I'm like, if these elite athletes can't do this, I'm in trouble. So as I went to go do this battle, there was a gentleman coming down the mountain. He's really hobbling. And I'm like, oh crap, what happened to him? As he got closer, I noticed he only had 1 leg. His other leg was a prosthetic leg. And he was a veteran, lost his leg in combat. And he went all the way up this mountain. It's 2 miles up the mountain. It's about 1,000 feet of elevation. You do your shooting at the top, which I'll tell you about, and then you come all the way back 2 miles. And I got, first when I saw this gentleman with 1 leg who just completed this course, I said to myself, there's no way I'm not completing this course. If this guy can gut it out with 1 leg, I'll be fine, and I'll suck it up and do it. So I started on it. In the beginning, it's really flat. I got like a half mile, quarter mile in, and I'm like, this is extremely flat. Where's the 1,000 feet of elevation come in? And I kid you not, 10 seconds after I thought that, it wasn't straight up, but man, it was close. It was extremely steep, loose rock, and very, very challenging. You finally get to the top, and they had some VTACs set up, which I loved. I love shooting barricades. I'm average at it, but I do enjoy it. My friend Jacob from Beyond the Berm gave me a bunch of tips on how to better utilize my sling on a barricade, so that really helped. And it was 6 position, 5 shots in each. Change your magazine out. The 6 inside positions, 5 rounds each. And the typical barricade, different angles, prone, shooting from both the left and the right side, typical V-type barricade drills. If you got through all your rifle rounds, then you transition to pistol, and there was a whole course of fire for pistol. Most people, including myself, got through their rifle rounds, and that was about it, and you ran out of time because they only gave you 3 minutes to shoot all of those rounds. The thing that hurt me on that one is my glasses instantly fogged up when I started shooting. I've never had that with my ESS eye systems, whatever it is, glasses before. I'm guessing the elevation and me sweating by the time I got up there fogged them up, and it made it really, really difficult. But the targets were only 75 yards or so, and they were full-size silhouettes. So anyway, after I was done shooting, you trek your way all the way back down the mountain. Most people were finishing in an hour, hour and a half. Some of the elite athletes were doing it in 45 minutes, and that's pretty much battle 3. Before I continue, I just want to also point out the battles I'm talking to you about are the intermediate level battles, not the elite. The elite have harder things to do in every single battle, significantly harder. So when they were dragging that heavy sled, they also had to carry weights above their head. When they climbed that 2-mile mountain, when they got to the top, they had to run another mile lap around before they could go shoot. So every single battle, they get challenged significantly harder than the intermediate shooters do. So the next 3 battles, battles 4 to 6, happen the next day on Sunday, so you do 3 battles each day. Battle 4 for me was that same loop that battle 1 was, where you ran down the hill, across the back of the range, and then back up that super steep hill to the firing line. This time, instead of hopping those concrete barriers, we didn't have to do that, but we had a sled to drag, again, always in full kit. So we had the sled, I think this one was 95 pounds, I believe, don't quote me on it, but you drag your sled down the hill, around the back of the range, up that super steep hill with a sled. That was just so much fun, to the firing line. This time you started with your rifle. We had to shoot 12 rounds of rifle in the A box in the silhouette, so that was pretty easy to do. Then rifle gets slung, you go to your pistol. Pistol was 15 shots on those 3 little Sammies, again, which I was terrible at. 5 shots at each Sammy. Once you were done shooting, you grab your sled, you go all the way around and just keep on doing it. The goal was to get 3 rounds in 12 minutes. I finished 2 rounds. I had 2 minutes left, so I was averaging, 5 minutes per round. And I stopped right there. The guy's like, "Do you want to try again to get around in 2 minutes?" And I said, "No, you can make fun of me for that one." But I figured they don't give partial points. There's no way I'm getting the sled back up around in 2 minutes. And if you are on the back or on that hill and the time runs out, you still have to bring your sled back to the firing line. So I had nothing to gain by continuing, and I figured I'd save my energy for the last 2 battles. So battle 5, the second battle of the day, was at the same range as the second battle of the day, the first day. So you had that slight incline. The first day you had to do the plate over your head and dragging a sled. Second day, same idea, 5 pistol mags, 5 rifle mags, and you go back and forth. The first part was a 150-pound sandbag. I didn't see too many people pick up all 150 pounds and clean it or anything. Most people the 150-pound sandbag had 3 50-pound sandbags inside of it. So most people were taking the 50-pounders out and carrying them separately. Some people would carry one at a time and just go back and forth because that's all they were strong enough to do, which is fine. What I did was, and what most people did, was I grabbed one 50-pounder, I threw it up on my left shoulder. I grabbed the sandbag that had 100 pounds in it, and I dragged it from the firing line down to where our magazines were. You have to drop the sandbag, grab one magazine, pick the sandbag back up, hump it up the hill. I guess it was about 50 yards or so. You do your pistol shooting. Pistol shooting was on a big silhouette this time, 15 rounds. Put your pistol away. Then you have to do a farmer's carry, and I'll roll in a picture of what farmer's carry looks like in case you don't know. The front of the bar had 45-pound plate. The back of it had 25, so it was an uneven weighted, which made it even more difficult. I'm guessing the bar was somewhere between 25 to 45 pounds, probably closer to the 25-pound. You had to carry that 10 or 15 yards or so. I think it was 15. Put the weights down, let go, pick them back up, deadlift style, go to the next line, put them down, go back to where your magazines are, put them down, put the pistol magazine away, grab a rifle magazine, pick up the weights, and go back every 10, 15 yards, put them down, let go, pick it up, put it down, let go. Once you get back to the firing line, you were shooting your rifle, 10 rounds on those little Sammys. Much easier to shoot those with a rifle than it was a pistol. And again, your goal is to get through as many rounds as you possibly can. This time, I made it through 5.5 rounds. This killed my back. I definitely need to work on deadlifts and squats to strengthen my body. Picking up those farmer carries, my back was on fire. If there's a video of me out there, I was screaming because my back was burning. Literally, as I'm going across the line, I was like, ah, because it was hard for me to carry, no doubt. The last and final battle was by far the most fun and the easiest battle out of the entire weekend. You start off by pinch grabbing, just kind of like that, 2 25-pound plates. Carry them 10-15 yards, drop them. You pick up this tombstone type shape thing that weighs 90 pounds. You lift those 10-15 yards, put that down, pick up a 50-pound sandbag, run again those 10-15 yards, whatever the space was, put that down. You have to run over a hill. It was probably 100-200 yards, whatever it was, to where the firing line was. At the firing line, they had some tank traps, I believe they're called. The first 30 rounds kneeling above through the middle of the tank trap, 30 rounds on a steel target. I did really well. I only missed 1 or 2. Then I went right prone. Again, thanks to my buddy Jacob from Beyond the Berm. My prone skills have improved. I don't think I missed any right-handed prone shots. Again, prone with a rifle and this 1 to 10 optic that I was shooting at 50, 60, 70 yards, whatever it is. I would hope I'd get all hits. Then you have to transition to left prone, and that's not something I practiced a lot. So I got squared up, I started going, boom, 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 got a nice cadence going, and then all of a sudden, I couldn't keep my right eye closed anymore. That's not something I'm used to, and I usually shoot 2 eyes open, but on the left side, I kind of can't. So my right eye got fatigued and tired, and I couldn't see out of my left eye anymore. So I probably missed 6 or 7 of the left side shots prone. Once you're done, stand up, sling your rifle, take your pistol out. You had 5 or 6 shots on a little Sammy over a lake to hit. Then you run those couple 100 yards back, pick up the sandbag, move it, pick up the tombstone, move it, pick up the plates with a pinch grab, move it back to the beginning, and there's your time. I did it in like 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I believe I had 12 misses, and like 8 of the 12 was left-handed prone. So my vision is something I'll need to practice, shooting left-handed prone for extended period of time and not just a couple of shots. Wow, I don't think I have ever talked so damn much in a video. I'm just tired of talking. More about this optic. I am working on a review on it right now. Again, my buddy Jacob from Beyond the Berm let me borrow it. It's a Vortex 1 to 10 razor. It is absolutely amazing. It is kind of the best of a low power variable optic and the red dot all in one in some ways, and I'll get into that in my review. But this is the only piece of equipment that if I could go back and do it again, that I wouldn't use, that I'd actually use differently. So when I signed up, they said be prepared to shoot targets out to 300 yards. I have terrible vision, and I struggle at 300 yards with a red dot, even with a magnifier. I just can't see it. So my buddy Jacob let me borrow this, and I was all prepared, ready to go. At this particular battle, the furthest we shot was 75 yards, so I didn't need this. There's no way of me knowing that ahead of time, but if I had known, I would have went with my red dot, because there's a lot of shooting from different and awkward positions in the barricades and the other stuff I told you. So that's about the only thing I would have done differently besides my horrific pistol shooting that I already told you about. Again, I think the tactical games are great. I cannot wait to compete again in 9 months. I had a blast, met a lot of really, really cool people, challenged myself. I truly feel like I accomplished something, and I was just very, very proud of myself. Regardless of your current physical ability, I think it's something, if you're interested and you want to do it, do it. Start running, start lifting weights, start improving yourself and making yourself a better version of what you are today. Again, if you're not an absolute freak of nature beast, don't go in to expect to win these events. These ladies and gentlemen, some of these people there are badasses. They work really hard and they absolutely go out and crush it. So check your ego, go, have fun, challenge yourself, make sure you don't quit, don't give up, finish as much of each round as you possibly can. Again, just make yourself a better version of who you are today. I saw a 71, 72-year-old man, however old he said he was, I forgot, compete the whole time. And he wasn't, the top of the leaderboard by anything, but he was out there, he was working his butt off. He couldn't carry the 150-pound sandbag, no big deal. He took 50 pounds out, brought it down, came back, got the next 50 pounds, and so on and so forth. He did it at his pace. He challenged himself. He worked his butt off, and he was super proud. Regardless if he came away with a trophy or not, he was one of the people that I was most impressed by. Another one is that gentleman I told you about that lost a leg in a prosthetic. He's out there running every battle, pulling the sleds, going up the 4-mile trek up and down that mountain. He did all of those things. He didn't let his prosthetic hold him back or use that as an excuse. The guys in my group were half my age. I didn't use that as an excuse. I ran right by them as quick as I possibly could. And I beat both of them. So, Joe, see you. Another one that I thought was really good, a guy was there with his son. His son was in his early 20s. He was in his late 50s. The dad beat the son. They were both in the intermediate division, and the dad kicked the son's butt, and I thought that was pretty cool. Alrighty, boys and girls, I am tired. I am sore. I need some leave. I need a lot of ice, and I need some rest. Thank you very much for watching. If you think I deserve it, please hook me up with a like or a comment or click that subscribe button. If you feel like doing any of those things, they really help me out, and I greatly appreciate them. If you have any questions about the tactical games or anything else, feel free to drop them in the comments section below, and I will answer them as quickly as possible. See you guys next time. Peace.